Okay, recording now. Let's see how it looks with the lamp on. Maybe that'll be better. I'm a little bit nervous. That's good. I feel like when I'm posting on social media, everyone's like, what are you doing? Where do you live? What are you up to? And I've been nervous to talk about it. Let me turn my phone off because this is... I am surrounded by a mess. Hey guys, I'm here talking to you guys for the first time in a long time to tell you a little life update. A lot of things have happened. I have a new job. I have a lot of things to catch you guys up on. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been really nervous about talking about it. My skin has never looked worse than it has the past 2 years. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was stress. Maybe it was, going through a big breakup, like changing jobs. Maybe it was all of it, like not really having a great routine. I just, my skin just couldn't handle it. I think everything truly surfaced, and it's finally starting to get a little bit better. So that's why I'm like, okay, I can film now. Also living in San Bruno, it was really foggy all of the time and it just put me in a bad mood. I'm one of those people that just needs good weather and a lot of sun, and it was tough being there working from home for the first time in my life. I didn't really leave the house for a year and a half, which is crazy. I would go on trips with my parents sometimes, or, go to birthday parties or things like that. But really I was at my house or my parents' house the majority of the year, which also wasn't great for my mental health. And to be honest, I think the lack of confidence and just not feeling great, those were two huge factors. I just didn't feel authentic standing in front of a camera saying here's what's going on in my life, when I just didn't feel that great about what was going on in certain aspects of my life. So I guess that leads me to my next question of what do I do for work? I read The 4-Hour Work Week maybe a year before I left my job in hospitality, and it was definitely a life-changing book. In it, Tim Ferriss talks about how he realized that, living a corporate job life wasn't for him, and how he restructures his life to make all the money he could make in 4 hours a week. And that really got me thinking. At the time, I had an hour or more commute to and from Santa Rosa, helping manage the food and beverage out of a hotel, and I was just completely burnt out. I was running around doing a million different things, feeling like I hadn't really committed to the things that I really wanted to be spending my time on. And listening to these kinds of audiobooks and things like that in the car on the way to and from work was really inspiring. I was like, okay, time to figure this shit out. So that really pushed me to start asking for the things I want. I learned pretty quickly that my job in hospitality wasn't going to be able to offer those things. I really wanted to work in marketing, and I felt like I wanted to be on social media. I wanted to create posts and talk about the things that I loved and create recipes and help businesses thrive. That is my jam. I'm so excited when I post and someone finds business that they maybe wouldn't have found without it. So I was trying to figure out ways to do that. I kind of created a map for myself. I asked myself, what would I be doing if I had $1 million? What would I do every day with my regular life? And it really came down to moving my body, connecting with people online, meeting creative people. And I figured out that, doing social media management was a good way to kind of backtrack into that. I was like, okay, if I get this many clients, I can, reach this salary that I was making in my hospitality job, and that's a good baseline. So I leave my job, decide it's time to get started, and I start contacting people. Like, cold calling is not my thing. I don't like selling myself. Like, I think your work should speak for itself, and it's really hard to find clients when, you know, you're just trying to sell on social media. It doesn't really work that way. They talk about how can you provide value, and it's hard to provide value if you don't have a client. So I got stuck in a rut. I was creating a website for my company, you know, filing the LLC, doing all of these different things to kind of get it all set up. Anytime you start a business, your priority is the business. You're not really taking care of yourself to the best extent because you're trying to get it off the ground at a time where you're not quite making the money that you need to sustain your life. And, you know, you still need to balance, you know, your wellness activities and do self-care and have friends and all of that stuff that gets neglected along the way. So I ended up posting on social media because a lot of people were writing to me saying, oh, you went to Ireland, you went here, you went there with your family, like you must be making so much money that you get to do that. And no, I wasn't. I was completely strapped for cash. At the time it was COVID, I was paying my own rent and financing a few other things that I'll talk about later. But I was really just feeling it. And my parents are amazing. They are super generous and they love family. So they wanted me to come with them on their trips and they paid for me to do that. And I always feel grateful that I get to do that and I love spending time with them. So I created a...
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. What did you create over there?
I'll tell you in a second. I'm just filming.
Do you want burrito?
No, thank you. So anyway, so I posted on social media trying to be honest about that, saying that I wasn't making tons of money. I was just very lucky to have the family that I have and that I was grinding like crazy, working every single day. I still work every day, trying to get this business started. And that was really when I started to get a bunch of my clients. I had a bunch of friends and family that were also starting businesses or already had some well-established businesses that reached out and wanted me to do social media management for them. And at the time I was like, yes, clients, money, let's do this, bring everyone in. And just accepted everybody that I could. I would say I wasn't really honest with myself about how much work I knew it was going to be. I set my prices too low. I accepted too many clients too early on. And I also learned a valuable lesson that not every client is a good client, but that's for another day. I've always loved collaborating with different brands on Instagram. So I was really lucky that I also got to work on a bunch of cool deals with different companies like Thermos, Project Juice, Fit Pulse, doing like stand-up paddleboard shoots and, you know, creating pumpkin cookies and coffees and all of these really cool pieces of content to talk about things that I love and how it relates to my life. That was a new source of income for me. I had worked with other companies in the past to do collaborations on Instagram, especially when I was vegan, but I had never made money doing that. So this was the first time that I got to do that, and that was amazing. And then another big question I get a lot is, do I still own my restaurant? Yes, I still own my restaurant. I now am more in like an accounting and marketing role for the restaurant. And I have a business partner now who makes my life so much easier. So nice to be able to just go and visit and do things like, you know, menu creation, recipe testing, accounting, not my favorite thing, but helps me learn more about my business and encourages me to, you know, really do a lot of accounting for my other businesses as well. And yeah, marketing is really my jam. So it's been really fun to see it grow and iterate. It's not vegan anymore, but it's still in the same space. That was another reason that I was super strapped for cash during COVID. When we were closed, we were building out a bar and working on all these other things, but the restaurant wasn't making any money. So I was using my hospitality job to pay for my rent in San Francisco and my restaurant rent at the same time. We never missed a payment, so that was great. But yeah, I was definitely feeling burnt out, overworked, trying to make as much money as I could to hold on to that space because I love my little restaurant space and, really make it happen. It was hard to, have so many changes in my life at one time, but it was just amazing to be able to see what it is now and, have it be a full cocktail bar and get to be on the bar side. And I feel like the restaurant grew up with me too. So it's now called The Greenhouse, and I recommend you all check it out if you're in upstate New York. Plans for the future. This last week, I was just at Chase Center working with MGP, the Marcus Graham Project, which partnered with the Warriors and Fanatics to put on the most amazing marketing program. I can't even tell you. Thank you, Cam, who told me about it. We heard so many panels from C-suite level at the Warriors to small independent people who had started their own agencies, talking about their experience and how they price and how they find clients and all of these different things that, people normally try to gatekeep and don't share that information. So it was really helpful to learn about how they really got started and, how they're doing today and going the route of, hiring people or collaborating or doing different things so that they can fuel their creativity and what really works for them. You're really like building out your services in line with the things that you like. And we also got the opportunity to pitch to the Warriors and Fanatics team about an idea for fan night, and my group's idea won. So hopefully if you go to fan night, you'll get to see some of the things that we recommend that they put in place for marketing and initiatives. But stay tuned, I'll let you guys know how that goes. And of course, I am now dating a beautiful Russian man that you saw earlier. And he is full force. He's training full force for his triathlons and half Ironman and anything that comes on. So we are, every other weekend or at least once a month traveling somewhere new, getting there a few days early, scoping out the track, and now transitioning fully into training and also collaborations for him. So it's kind of like a side marketing project for me, now full-time professional athlete work for him. So it keeps us both really busy. So my life, needless to say, has been crazy and all over the place. We just moved to St. Carlos from San Bruno. My aunt moved out of her house and we got to move in here, and it's just a beautiful spot. Can't wait to do a house tour. I literally have my life in shambles. I just have boxes everywhere here, all around the floor right now. And I just need to get a little bit organized. I still have some furniture that's coming in and need to put everything in its place before I can show the public around our house. We freaking love it. I'm closer to all these coffee shops. It's sunny all the time. And I'm 10 minutes from my parents' house too, which for some people is a nightmare. For me, it's the best thing ever. So I'm super excited about that. Let's see what else I can talk about. Moved, job, restaurant. I got a boob job. I'll do another post on that some other time. I've just been trying to focus on how I can make my life feel more balanced. I really had to ask myself what it means to be successful, and I used to correlate success with money or a grade in school, and Alexa keeps reminding me I'm not in school anymore. So I'm trying my best to create a schedule that works for me and know that taking a walk at 9 a.m. isn't selfish and doesn't mean I'm being unproductive. It's just what I get to do now because I manage my own time. And excited to share more about what my daily routines look like, especially with so many random things from clients to collaborations to restaurant stuff to just the normal craziness that happens. Excited to keep you in the loop. And if you have any other questions, I will be making more videos like this. I saw this one podcaster was doing advice. If you have any questions that you think I can answer, happy to give it a shot and reach out to me. I miss you guys. And now I'm signing off. Also, side note, I did a what I do in a day video for like a Saturday that I'm going to be posting on TikTok. And I threw up so many peace signs. I'm like, I need to stop doing that. I need to think of something else. So, see you guys.